For many years, she was silence. You might think you've heard stories like hers. A woman, a lifetime, a love that seemed right, until it wasn't. But what no one saw was the exact moment when everything inside her broke. In silence, while outside, she kept smiling. This isn't just a story about betrayal. It's a story about choices, about courage hidden behind fear. Stay with me until the end, because this story may seem like it's about her, but maybe, just maybe, it's about you. Today, I want to share with you the story of Alisha, a 48-year-old woman who spent her entire life believing she was building the perfect family, as if returning meant staying, as if presence meant partnership. She learned to live on crumbs, last-minute celebrations, pre-packaged apologies, a wedding ring that felt more like a shackle. She whispered affirmations like armor. I'm strong. I can take this. One day he'll change. That people would support her. But the opposite happened. Judgment poured in. Wondered if she'd made the right one. She questioned her own worth. Contemplated picking up the phone and asking him to come back. But somewhere deep within, a quiet voice said, "Stay. Don't go back. Just stay." After all these years, they asked, why destroy your family? She'd never traveled alone, never had dinner by herself, never spent a night without his snoring beside her. Every moment was new, awkward, scary. But slowly, she discovered the beauty of her own company, the peace in not explaining herself, the strength in hearing her own voice. Her own relatives turned against her, called her ungrateful, told her that real women forgive, and Alisha cried. She cried through the nights, feeling as if she'd been abandoned in the middle of a desert. But days turned into years, and years stole parts of her soul she didn't know were missing. She believed she was setting an example for her children, that she was being the kind of woman everyone praised, the kind who endures, forgives, and sacrifices. From the very beginning, he had others. Some she found out about. Others she pretended not to see. She looked into the mirror and didn't recognize the woman staring back. She had become a role: mother, wife, housekeeper. She had lost her name. And in that moment, she decided, enough. She would leave. Not for someone else. For the first time in her life, she would choose herself. Because confronting him, that meant risking everything. And so she chose silence. She chose motherhood, the household, invisible labor of keeping everything together. She became a background figure in her own life. While he traveled, lied, lived, she existed. She married young, full of dreams. She thought love meant staying, even when it hurt, and it did hurt. For many years it hurt, but Alisha never spoke of it, because in her world, a woman swallowed her pain so the family wouldn't crumble. And so she swallowed every absence, every unanswered call, every unfamiliar scent on his shirt. She always knew. Deep down she did, but she'd repeat to herself, at least he comes home. His betrayal wasn't a single event. It was a lifestyle, repetition. Until one day, she broke. Not because of a fresh betrayal, not because of some dramatic moment, but because she finally grew tired of betraying herself. But freedom didn't feel light, not at first. She thought the world would cheer her on. The nights were cruelest, the house so empty. Her children were older now. They no longer needed her constant presence. She heard the echoes of her decision. She had to learn how to be with herself. It was unfamiliar territory. She didn't know what she liked, what brought her joy. The rebuilding was slow. She still had moments of grief. She didn't miss him. She missed the illusion. But slowly they began to see their mother as more than just a mother, as a woman, as a soul, with dreams, with stories, with strength, the routine, now the comfort of a lie she lived for so long. She remembered birthdays, moments, dates, but she realized it wasn't love. It was attachment. It was fear, habit, a longing for what she thought she had, because fear keeps you in chains tighter than any vow. But now she was learning to walk free, because hatred is heavy, because guilt solves nothing, because she wasn't who she used to be. She was a woman who stopped waiting to be happy and decided to build joy from the inside out. Her family still didn't understand. Some friends fell away. Her children were confused at first. They thought she had abandoned the family. Alisha wasn't yet the woman she wanted to be. But she no longer was the one she used to be. She stood somewhere in between, a work in progress. She began to enjoy her morning coffee on the balcony. Because yes, she missed someone, but not him. She missed the version of herself she had buried. And now she was digging her way back. Started going to the movies alone. Took trips with friends. She looked at herself in the mirror and didn't flinch. She wore the dresses she liked, not the ones he approved. She saw beauty in freedom, power in solitude. She finally understood that she needed no permission to exist. People still asked, "Don't you miss having a man?" And she smiled, but every time she chose herself, she felt more alive, more whole, more hers. She didn't want to romanticize her journey. It hurt. It was lonely, exhausting, uncertain, and that was worth everything. She forgave, not for him, but for herself. But now, she would never abandon herself again. She would never shrink to fit. She longed for a love that added, not one that consumed. But until that love came, she was her own peace, her own choice, every single day. She still dreamed. She still believed in love. If you've listened this far and your heart is tight, maybe Alisha's story isn't just hers. Maybe it's a reflection of your own. Maybe it's your sign that change is still possible. And if you want to hear more real stories of healing and rebirth, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. Because here, we transform pain into strength. We start again, as many times as it takes. That it's not too late to choose you. You deserve peace. You deserve joy. You deserve mornings without fear. Share this story with someone who needs it. Hey, leave a comment if you've lived something similar. Because life is still here. Waiting for you.